Welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be continuing with our Mythic Battles Pantheon, but we are through with the troops for the core set anyway. It's now time we start on the heroes and the monsters. So we're going to start off with Leonidas, the leader of the Spartans, and this is the character we're going to be doing in this. So what I want to do first of all, before I do anything else, I've noticed now there are a couple of little mould lines, not too bad, but still bad enough to warrant cleaning. I think that's about it. We'll see me. So, yeah. How are we going to start? There's the question. Let's give you some answers. We're going to start first of all, as I usually do, with the flesh. And for that, we're going to be going with rat skin flesh. I'm not really bothered about doing this mini to fully match the Spartans, so there might be, I can't remember what flesh tone and what colours I used for the Spartans, but I don't know why I'm putting so much out. There must be a good reason. Oh well, because there's not all that much flesh tone to look at with this character, because it's all, like the Spartans, it's mainly armour. But let's get started, shall we? We have this arm to do. Now with this one, with the armour being just one mini, there's obviously not going to be any swapping and changing of whatchamacallit, swapping and changing of cap minis and pauses and stuff like that. It's going to be just doing one mini at a time. It's going to be a little easier to get running with. So all we're doing is looking for where there's flesh tones and applying this to the appropriate areas. I'm not worried about going over the spear because we haven't painted that yet, or the armour. In fact, I'm not worried about going over anything at the moment because there's only the skin that's being painted. When it comes down to highlighting or having to, if I actually catch it and need to, I'll give it another coat, then in that respect I would be a bit more concerned if we have to go and do something else with it later on after I've painted the other areas. Oh dear. So yes, I just finished painting the whatchamacallums, the centaurs, and I've transferred everything over to my hard drive. I just need to edit, but I wanted to get this fella started. I was itching to get this fella started, so I'm going to do what I can of him as well before all the or before the other video gets uploaded and edited. So I'm just watching out for where needs going over And hopefully I can get the cape to look how I did with the Spartans. Shouldn't be too difficult. I think I've got it just about ingrained now, but there again, saying that, it all depends how the paint works and how the water works with the paint as to whether or not it does actually go the way I want it to. So I'm just going to do these areas here, and then I think, no, it's not quite it. I'm not also being too fussy about the feet and the sandals. I've done that in the past and realised it's just a bit too tricky to try and avoid things, because I do miss them. So I'm just going to paint them all. Not on the front anyway. I don't need to paint the back because there's no skin tone there. The front here, that's where the skin tone is going to be, but also where the straps of his sandals are going to be. And that being the case, it's better to have whatchamacallit, you're better having that base coat there rather than trying to be too clever, too fussy where you put the paint and then realise that you've not got it in the right place. So at this stage you can get away with murder near enough with the painting. It's as you get further on then and other things have started being painted, you don't want to be as cavalier, but at the moment you just need to get the paint on the Mini at this time. That's all we're trying to do. Block colour in rather than make a piece of art with it. There we go. So we're just going to make sure it's got one even coating of paint. There we are. And that, to me, that's that. Okay, next is the armour, I think. And for that we're going to be using what we usually do, which is Warplock Bronze. That was the rat skin flesh. Warplock Bronze is like a dark metallic colour. You've seen me use it before, that's it. So I'll pop a bit of this on our palette. I need to get some more of this as well. In fact, I need to stock up on paints altogether. But unfortunately I never seem to get the time to do so, or when I do get the time the money's not there. I'm going to put my head loop on for this because I'm going to make sure I get the details where I want them. Okay, so this breastplate here, as we say, it's a case of get everywhere covered that you need covered. But make sure that you try your best. I'm not saying that you can't, just try your best not to get this new paint where the older paint has gone, because it's much easier if you can try and do it like that rather than having to touch up later on. But as I keep saying when I'm painting, accidents happen. And I've just realised that there is a part of this mini that should have been called flesh colour and hasn't been, and I've just painted it. It's there. So I'm going to go back to that when this paint has dried. And it might be a bit tricky with this because it's a very dark paint, and the paint we use for the skin tone is fairly watery. But we can only try our best. Models, I can do that. And so making sure I get everywhere that I want to be metal. Anywhere that I don't want to be metal, I'm trying to avoid. I'm going to put that as metal. I don't know whether it is or not. It may not be, but there we go. Almost finished. Now we have a couple of these protectors. And that's the armour done. And so we have a couple. We've got two. Is this the only one we've got? Because we've got a great big green shield on the other hand. And I think that's it. Yes, I think we do have there we go. And that's all that we can do with that for the time being. Next up, we will do the shaft of the spear, I think, and we can also do this area as well. Oh dear Lord. So, the shaft of the spear, we will do that in, just move that over for a second. We've used it before in the last video, dryad bark. That's the one we're going to use in this one. It's not a big job, just paint a spear, it's just basically that. The thing, however, is making sure that you don't go over the hand. I'll change brushes. There we go. And so we'll make sure that we don't go over the hands. We also don't really want to go over the what's the word we'll give for the little straps at the end of the spear, because that would be where that wouldn't be wood, it would be cloth, that part, or rope rather, keeping the spearhead attached, or helping to keep the spearhead attached. I've said it before, I'm not an expert in weaponry, but it may be historically accurate. Then again, it may not be. I have no idea on the accuracies of this kind of thing, but as a mini for a game, you know, we have an idea what it is, and it's there. It's just another detail rather than just it being a long that's the word I'm looking for, rather than it being just a long straight piece with a point on the end. They put that little bit of binding on there. Whether it's true, whether it's real or not, I don't know. But that's another story. Next we want the cape. Oh no, I said we're going to do the Uji Teodon. That I'm going to do with a little bit of the colour we haven't used yet on these, Baneblade Brown, at least. I don't remember using it. So I'm just going to get a little bit on the brush. There's not much of this to do, so I'm not going to go overboard with it. I'm just going to get just enough on to do the necessary with it. And there we go. So that was Baneblade Brown. So I'm not sure as to whether or not we've used it before on any of the Mythic Battles ones, but if I have, I have. If I haven't, then I haven't. That's that bit. What can we do next? Oh yes, I know what we can do next. I said I'd missed a bit with the flesh, so I'm going to try and get that done now. And that bit I missed. Is the I'm not going to attempt to try and highlight that part because it's too small. Next we're going to use a spot of when I can find it. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Not that one. Ah, there we are. Found it. Doombull Brown. You've seen this one before. I've used it quite frequently. Only because I particularly like the colour. So a little bit of that. Right, I'll pop a bit over here as well. And with that, I'm going to do this skirt thingy. And we'll just pop one of these days. I am going to find out what this is called and try and remember it, because I keep saying I did put it on. I'm sure I put it on one of my videos. I don't know which one though, because I did actually find out for this one particular video. And then I've not been able to remember what it's called since. So, yeah, that's just me. And there we have it. Just trying to make sure that everywhere that I need to get covered is covered. That's the hard part when you're painting. Is trying to make sure that you don't miss anywhere. As I've said before, it doesn't matter really if you accidentally catch somewhere else, because you can always go over again and make that adjustment, but it doesn't look right when you've spent all your time doing the job and then all that happens. I wanted to put some snakebite leather, not snakebite leather, what was I talking about? About skin flesh. Snakebite leather, that's an old paint. Put some of that paint in with this Doombull Brown and a spot of the dryad bark, and this colour will be used for the leather straps. Now make these colours up as you go along, you don't have to use set colours. I decided I was going to use the Doombull Brown, then I thought no, I want something a little different. So it doesn't get mixed up with the little skirty thing here. I'm really going to stop calling it a skirt. But technically speaking, it is. It's not a pair of trousers. Let's put it that way. So we have colour, and I'm just going to add that to here for the leather straps on the shield. And yes, you'll be holding the leather strap there. There we go. And that looks about right for that. Finally, we will do the cape. Finally, for this section, we will do the cape. And for that, we'll need stronger colours. So, we are going to be using Rhinox hide. We'll dab some of that on the palette. Into the Rhinox hide, we are going to add Wazdaka red. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to use corn red. And I want to make a nice dark reddy brown colour. I will be darkening it up as well with washes in a moment. There we go. So I will be darkened up somewhat with washes, so don't worry about it looking a little pale at the moment. It's going to have a Nuln Oil wash. Brush done. Just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, but a hell of a lot of concentration. once you got all them, cracked, then you're sorted. And need to get this bit done now, and then I'm not worried about certain details on this, I'll do that later, but I am more concerned about getting the big bits done. But the one thing you don't want to do is a half-baked job on the big bits while leaving the and doing a good job on the little bits. So let's spend some time double checking, because I always tend to miss things. So you have to keep looking and keep looking as to what I might have missed or what I have missed. I think that is everything. It's already looking quite awesome. So the next job, I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit of the skin tone into that corn we've just mixed, again to change it slightly, and I'll paint the scabbard. There we go. So you can have these ideas. You can, if you wanted to, plan the colour scheme right down to the final bit. I find that very restrictive. I would sooner look at the model and think, yeah, I'll do that instead. I'll do that for a change. I'll do this, I'll do that. I find you've got a lot more freedom doing it that way than you would if you tried planning everything out. Go in with an open mind. I'll let everything catch up to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now I've got all that done, washy time. For the skin, the wash we're going to be using is Clenched Flesh Shade. Give it a good stir. There we go. Give it a good stir. I might give it a good shake. I know what I meant. Before anybody decides they want to pull me up over my wrong use of the word. There we go. One arm done. Second arm done. But I'm going to go over this bit as well with that colour. There we go. And there's that part done. And now for the cape, I'm not worried about anywhere else, it's just the skin and the cape. The cape, as I said, is going to get, I already mentioned this, it's going to get a coating of Nuln Oil. So we'll do that. And this, as I said, is going to blacken it down, make it a lot darker. It'll make it almost black colour. when it's dried. It may not look it now, but I'll do that as well. We'll just liberally apply the wash all over the cape. Try not to let it pull too much in some areas. There we go. You see now, I'm just going over and wiping a bit of excess off. Scraping it back into the tub of paint. I want to go over the inside of the shield. I'll go over the outside of the shield as well with this. There we go. And that is all I've got for this video. When we come back, we can make a start on highlighting. In fact, we'll probably finish in the next video. We just need to make a start on highlighting and doing the details, which basically means a finished video. But so far, this is what we have. This is, again, Leonidas, King of the Spartans, from Mythic Battles Pantheon. Until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.